The Haunting Reality, a sleep paralysis story. Welcome to this chilling exploration of a true tale that blurs the line between the known and the unknown, the scientific and the supernatural. We journey into the life of a man caught in the relentless grip of sleep paralysis, haunted each night by a sinister figure he names the Strangler. Through immersive visuals and soundscapes, this video offers a compelling narrative of fear, resilience, and the quest for understanding. In a dimly lit room, the air is thick with an uneasy silence. The quiet night holds its breath as shadows dance ominously. This is where our story unfolds, setting the stage for an unsettling descent into a nightly terror unlike any other. As darkness envelops, the unsettling ambience is underscored by a meticulous soundscape. A distant, echoing heartbeat intertwines with hushed breaths. Here, we meet our protagonist, a seemingly ordinary man living an ordinary life until nightfall unveils its horrors. His story, though extraordinary, begins like many others. Yet, when the day ends and the world closes its eyes, his battle commences. The nightmare begins with a sensation that many might dismiss: a slight pressure on his chest, a fleeting inability to move or scream. But for him, this is the start of a recurring nightmare, an unseen force anchoring him in bed as consciousness flutters above him like a fragile flame exposed to a relentless wind. As the episodes multiply, the shadow deepens, coalescing into a forbidding silhouette, the Strangler. Initially formless, this dark figure soon assumes an eerie familiarity. Its presence lies just beyond the veil of sleep, a constant on the periphery, waiting to wrench him from the safety of dreams. The sinister presence of the Strangler is amplified not just through vivid description, but captivating sound and visuals. Imagine the oppressive sound of dripping water, its pace quickening, or distortion of familiar tones that unsettle the viewer, accompanying visuals of flickering lights and distorted perspectives that mimic his disturbed psyche. Each night, the pattern persists. His dread builds as the sun dips below the horizon, dragging with it any illusion of sanctuary. The specter's visits are relentless, rehearsing the torment with malevolent precision until liberation from sleep becomes a mere hallucination. Stillness betrays him as the Strangler gains clarity. A tangible malice weaves into its form, features no longer clouded by shadow, but by the protagonist's escalating fear. Yet, it's not the figure's physicality that petrifies him most. It's the harrowing certainty that their connection deepens every night. As our story progresses, his journey illustrates the corrosive impact of this terror. The intangible fear seeps into his waking hours, casting shadows over his mental well-being, fragmenting his heart with anxiety and dread that distracts him even under the light of day. In a horrifying twist, the Strangler begins to speak. Its voice, a ghostly whisper, penetrates his paralysis, delivering chilling messages that strip sleep of its serenity. Every word echoes with an ironclad promise of doom, amplifying his nightly dread. Beyond the immediate horror, this narrative taps into universal themes, examining fear's grip and the unsettling bridge between mind and reality. Through his eyes, we traverse the murky waters of legend and the subconscious, reliant on the uneasy peace between what is and what might be. Bizarre phenomena become constants around him. Objects shift inexplicably, electronics flicker to life unbidden, and the air tingles with an icy current during daylight hours. These manifestations hint at realities beyond comprehension, firming the spectral stranglehold over him. In desperation, he dives into research, hunting for answers within sleep paralysis studies and folklore. Could the Strangler be a mere manifestation of his fears, a shared demon from the annals of human night terrors? His quest for knowledge becomes as critical as the nights he dreads. Plunging into scientific discourse, the unsettling reality of sleep paralysis unfolds. We explore its occurrence, a physiological glitch freezing body motion, while consciousness awakens. It appears mundane through the lens of science. Yet for sufferers, the overlap with terror is all too real. The protagonist's mind spirals, ricocheting anxiously between illusion and reality. As sleep becomes synonymous with vulnerability, the security of his waking life erodes. Relationships strain under the weight of this unseen burden. Echoing in isolation felt keenly by many. Despite the odds, he develops mechanisms to mitigate his fear. Breathing exercises, adapting sleep positions, and engaging in meditative practices. While each offers respite, they are tentative and fleeting, highlights in a continued struggle for dominance over fear. Upon discovering others with similar experiences, he finds a fractured solace. Shared stories bind them in reluctant brotherhood, offering community insights that illuminate the darkest nights with a semblance of shared strength. The video employs a visual narrative strategy that leverages symbolism, using light, shadow, and color to echo the protagonist's internal state. Subtle shifts in hue convey the fluctuating stasis between hope and despair, reinforcing the viewer's immersion. The auditory journey intensifies alongside visuals, an evolving symphony enhancing every emotion. Subtle music underpins scenes, fluctuating between haunting notes and peaceful tones, sonically portraying the epic struggle. As the Strangler's visits increase, each encounter is drenched in heightened terror. The protagonist finds himself on a precipice, closer to a breaking point where night and his fractured psyche threaten a devastating convergence. Clashing realities culminate in a crescendo, an encounter that shatters the boundary between man and apparition. Here, the story shoves against the unknown, questioning whether it's the terror we imagine, or that which lives within us, that drives us mad. Deeper reflection reveals the Strangler's potential role not as destroyer, but harbinger of introspection. This entity challenges the protagonist to confront his fears, symbolizing perhaps an unresolved part of himself. Armed with newfound insight, he confronts the night with courage born from knowledge. The protagonist imbues his approach with tactics garnered from experts, replacing despair with a strategic routine that whispers of hope. A transformation within unfolds, a moment where fear is met with resilience. Here, perception shifts irreversibly, altering how threats are perceived, how nightmares are navigated. The essence of a revelation that defangs fear. As the narrative stabilizes, so does its visual tone, colors shifting towards warmth and hope. Light triumphs over shadow, a chromatic metaphor signaling a newfound peace and balance. The story closes with reflections on fear, resilience, and the power of human understanding. It becomes a testament to the triumph of enlightenment over ignorance, the ability of knowledge to illuminate the darkest paths. To expand the discourse, we include commentary from experts, psychologists, and sleep scientists, who contextualize these experiences within the broader spectrum of sleep paralysis and its cultural and psychological impacts. To expand the discourse, we include commentary from experts, psychologists, and sleep scientists, who contextualize these experiences within the broader spectrum of sleep paralysis and its cultural and psychological impacts. To expand the discourse, we include commentary from experts, psychologists, and sleep scientists, who contextualize these experiences within the broader spectrum of sleep paralysis and its cultural and psychological impacts. The narrative weaves in voices from others who stand alongside the protagonist, each bearing their own story yet sharing a resonance born of common experience and resistance against shared shadows. The narrative weaves in voices from others who stand alongside the protagonist, each bearing their own story yet sharing a resonance born of common experience and resistance against shared shadows. The narrative weaves in voices from others who stand alongside the protagonist, each bearing their own story yet sharing a resonance born of common experience and resistance against shared shadows. In his voice, the protagonist adds a parting reflection, a message that offers solidarity and serves as a beacon to others navigating similar paths. With knowledge and courage, fear can be confronted.